Alright, for this video I want to go through the IRS Form W-9, which is the request for a taxpayer ID number, but specifically we want to look at the March 2024 revision and the update where the IRS has now added question 3B. So I've got the W-9 here. We'll talk about question 3B and why it's important. And then I've also got a sample structure chart here, which I think will help kind of illustrate why this question was added and why it's important for 1065 reporting when you're preparing K1s, K2, and K3. So to start with the IRS website, the IRS posts all of the current and prior year revisions of various forms. So we can see here for the W-9, the current version, 2024 revision date, so that's the March 2024 version that we're going to be looking at, and then all of the prior year ones. So the last time this form was revised was way back in 2018, so it's been quite a few years since they've made any changes. Now, why have they added this question 3B? Well, the question 3B form is, or 3B on the form, is in connection with partnerships that have to prepare Schedule K2 with the return and provide a K3 to any of their partners. So I think the best place to start, we'll read the question, look at some of the notes in the instructions, and then look at the fact pattern and try to walk through why this is so important now. So the question, if we just simply read it out here, right? If on line 3A, you have checked that you're a partnership, or a trust or estate, or you've checked LLC and entered P for partnership, and you're providing this form to another partnership, trust, or estate in which you have an ownership interest, you should be checking this box if you have any foreign partners, owners, or beneficiaries. Okay? So, if we look at some of the instructions that they've added to the updated form, we can see here, I've highlighted the important ones. So the new line 3B has been added to this form. A flow-through entity is required to complete this line to indicate if it has any direct or indirect foreign partners, owners, or beneficiaries. Right? And this is done when it is providing the W-9 to another flow-through entity where it has an ownership interest. This change is intended to provide a flow-through entity with information regarding the status of its indirect foreign partners, owners, or beneficiaries, so that it can satisfy any applicable reporting requirements. For example, a partnership that has any indirect foreign partners may be required to complete K2 and K3. Okay, and then you can see the partnership instructions for those forms. On page 3 here, more details, specific instructions in line 3B, right? You have to be checking this box on 3B if you receive a W-8, so that's a W-8 Ben, W-8 Benny, W-8 IMY, and so on. If you receive a W-8 from any partner, owner, or beneficiary establishing foreign status, or if you receive a W-9 from any partner, owner, or beneficiary that has also checked this box on line 3B. So that second piece there is referring to having any domestic partnerships with indirect foreign partners. So you have partnerships on top of partnerships, and the end result is there's a foreign partner in the mix there. All right, so if we have a look at, if we go back to the structure chart here. So in this structure chart, we have two partnerships. So we have this partnership up here, domestic partnership. It's a Delaware LLC that operates a restaurant locally. So a local restaurant in Florida. So this is a restaurant that's operating a U.S. trade or business. Now this restaurant has 3 owners. So 2 of them are individuals, Jane Doe and John Smith, who are U.S. persons. And then the third partner is another partnership. And it's a domestic partnership, right? We have holding company LLC, Delaware entity. Now, prior to when they added the K2 and K3, what would often happen is the restaurant LLC would prepare a 1065, and it would just give a K1 to each partner, right? So it would give a K1 to John, Jane, and then the holding company LLC. And then this partnership would prepare its own 1065 using the flow-through information and then distribute a K1 to each of its 3 partners. Now, the problem with that historically was this company either didn't know or had to make assumptions about what kind of income was flowing through from this partnership down to this one. And the reason why that's important, because when it goes to prepare its K-1s, if it has any effectively connected income with a U.S. trade or business, it would need to be withholding taxes on the allocations to any foreign partners, right? So this partnership here has two foreign partners, a foreign corporation here and a UK citizen, so he's a non-resident, not a U.S. person, and it has one U.S. Owner. Okay, so when Holding Company LLC would prepare its own 1065 and K-1s, it would make an assumption often that says, okay, well, we think that this is effectively connected income flowing down through here. So when we allocate income to XYZ Company and Jake Jones, we're going to have to fill out 8804, 8805, withhold tax on the allocation, and then that way the effectively connected income allocated to these non-resident partners is going to be subject to tax. Now that we have K2 and K3 added, partnerships are supposed to provide more detail on any kind of U.S. and foreign activities. They're supposed to bifurcate the activities. So what's U.S., what's foreign source, what's ECI, what's not ECI. And so partnerships have more information where they don't have to make these assumptions anymore. So if Holding Company LLC is an investor in the Restaurant LLC, it's preparing the W-9 to provide to Restaurant LLC. So when it's preparing its W-9 here, it appropriately checks line 3B because the Holding Company LLC, it has direct foreign partners, okay? So when it prepares the W-9 to give to Restaurant LLC, it is letting them know, hey guys, I have direct foreign partners in my structure. For that reason, when you prepare the 1065 and give me a K-1, I need you to give me a K-3. I need you to give me a K-3 that shows how much, what is the character and source of the income that's flowing down to my partnership. And I need those details so I can accurately prepare my own Schedule K2 and K3 to give to Jake and XYZ Company and also give to Bob Taylor as the U.S. person, okay? So if we summarize some of the key tax filing points here again, so the Restaurant LLC here, because this is LLC, it operates a U.S. trade or business, which is fine, but because it has all domestic partners here, there's no reason for it to file an 8804 and 8805 because all the direct partners are U.S. persons, right? But it should be including the K3 for at least this entity here because it is a domestic partnership that has direct or potentially other indirect foreign partners. Now, for those of you that have seen a lot of 1065s and K1s, you recall that for the last few years, there have been these additions to the K1 where you get a K3 disclosure that says, we are not providing a K3 to you with your K1 package unless you ask us to provide that information, right? Now, by adding the 3B, that conversation kind of doesn't have to happen anymore, right? Because now, by providing a W-9 with box 3 checked, you're letting that partnership that you're an investor in know, you're letting them know from the very beginning now that yes, we're a flow-through entity and we definitely have direct or other indirect foreign partners. And so for that reason, you cannot just give us a K1 anymore. We're telling you right now from the get-go that we need the K3 information in order to accurately prepare our own Form 1065 return. Now I have a lot of tutorials on K2 and K3. I'll put those links below in the description and some more details on the domestic filing exemption. But I do hope that helps kind of clarify why that question was added and why it's so important and why the IRS has done that, because they are trying to get ahead of this in the sense they want partnerships preparing 1065s to, frankly, they wanted to prepare those K2 and K3 for everybody, but they are letting them kind of know now that, hey, in advance of maybe even preparing the K1, sending it out, and waiting to see if you get a response from anybody asking for a K2, or sorry, a K3, from the very get-go, when you become an investor in a partnership, you can let them know from the beginning that, hey, look, we've got some foreign partners, and so for that reason, we're going to need the information on K3. All right, so that covers it. Hope that was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.